This is docket 3590 WR 106, the application of the city of Menomonie for authority to adjust water rates. This is Mike Newmark, the administrative law judge for the PSC, and we are connected through Zoom. We have the utilities consultant and commission staff in attendance. We've made the connection available to members of the public, but looking at our participant list, I see no members of the public has joined us. We'll be taking, what we're doing here today is creating the record in the case. That'll be, the record is the documents we identify and verify under oath as exhibits, as well as comments we receive from the utility commission staff and members of the public. So if no members of the public appear today, we can still accept public comments up until Friday, either through the commission's website or by US mail. And so the instructions for doing that is on our notice of hearing, which is displayed on the screen and also available on the commission's website. Once the record's created, it's also a recording of the hearing that's part of the record. That information will be forwarded to the division administrator for the Division of Water Utility Regulation and Analysis, Andy Galvin. The administrator will make a decision based on the record, and a written order will issue. It'll be posted on the commission's website and emailed to the utility. So that's the basic process. Just going to switch over now on our screen share to the list of documents. So this was a list created by Andrew Fisher, commission staff, with the utility documents and the commission staff documents. So we'll just need to get those documents verified under oath. First of all, the customer notice is already provided with an affidavit, so I can accept that. And the other four documents, the application related documents and the acceptance of revenue requirement, those are the ones we'll need to verify now. So who can do that for us today?
I can do that. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're kind of, something's going, I think there's like a sunspot or something today. I can hear you now. Yeah. You're
okay. Yeah.
Kind of jittery, but I think we'll get through this. You may need to take your background off, but so far it's working. So,
okay.
So can you verify those four documents?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, so let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, and just state your name for the record.
Brian Raymer.
All right, and the four documents we're talking about: application, attachment 19, data request response, and acceptance letter. Are you familiar with those?
I am.
Are they complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
They are.
And do you have any comments?
I do.
Okay.
While the utility and its rate consultant are in agreement, with the revenue requirement as outlined in that acceptance of the revenue requirement, we are quite disappointed with PSC staff's response and rationale for a higher rate of return, as it does add a burden to ratepayers, particularly of lower income levels that were provided within the documents provided within the application. Specifically, the PSC staff stated for a higher rate of return, the reasons for its rejection was future projects that are beyond the test year. So these would be things that we couldn't have included even if we wanted to, meaning that typically the PSC only looks at within a 6-month period beyond their test year as outlined in the instructions to the application. And as well as the PSC staff identified that the higher rate of return the lower rate of return was rejected, because we did not provide enough detail as outlined in their revenue requirement level. I would argue that the city utility and its rate consultants went above and beyond what is typically put into a rate application, as seen in their attachment 19 documents and outlined in their notes to each attachment for that application. And then my final comment on that would be there was the rejection of the lower rate of return was discussed at the amount in the application, and that rate of return kind of shifted at the point at which the application was filed and finally kind of accepted through the data request portion. So more or less that rate of return would have adjusted. This was discussed at a virtual meeting with PSC staff, and the potential to move to that different rate of return instead of the original requested. And then there was kind of no follow-up on that. So we just noted that, at various levels, this amount would have been much closer to the benchmark rate of return should that conversation have been followed through. Thank you.
Okay. So I was just curious in terms of the relief for, is it the low income customers?
Mhm.
What was the desire, the goal for the utility? Is that correct?
Correct. Trying to make sure that increase was not as large than it would have been, with benchmark to the lower rate of return.
Okay, but the only proposal was to lower the rate of return below the benchmark.
Correct.
Okay, all right. So no other rate design proposals for.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Just want to be clear about that. Okay, great. Okay, any other comments on behalf of the utilities? So the other connection that's in Menomonie, did anyone there wish to speak?
Yeah, this is Dave Schofield. Do I need to sign in or wave my
I'll swear you in. Yeah, so just gotta wave your right hand there. There you go. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate what Brian had mentioned. We were hoping for a rate of return of 3.75%, and the rate of return that was set for us by PSC is 6.2. Brian said it better than I will, but we felt that was maybe an excessive rate of return. We certainly didn't want to get into a contested rate situation, and so we did ultimately accept the rate recommendation. But I just feel like, for the record, we should say that we did have some concerns with that.
Okay, all right, good. Well, thanks for that. Okay, so we'll move on. Commission staff, we'll do revenue requirements. So I think that's Stephen Elmer. Raise your right hand. Oh, yeah, unmute. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. Can you confirm that the revenue requirement exhibit is complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
And any comments?
No.
Okay. And cost, service study and rate design, Andrew Fisher. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
And can you confirm that the cost, service study and rate design exhibit is complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it is.
Any comments?
I have no comments.
All right. Okay, well, looking at our participant list, there are no members of the public in attendance. So no comments from them at this time. No comments on file, but there's still opportunity to file comments up until end of the day, Friday, June 9th. For the online comments, and we'll need to get those comments in the mail by June 9th as well. So spread the word, or people watching or watching the video or the recording, you'll have that information prior to the deadline. Okay, great. So is there anything else we need to address? No? Okay.
No.
So at this point, I'm gonna change this screen share there. So at this point, we have everything we need. So we're adjourned. Thanks very much.